Get to headlines here in a second, then we'll talk some Canes Gators with Joe Zagacki. I was reading in USA Today, they have their gambling experts pick the Thursday night football game. And I just found it interesting what the rationale is behind some people who are picking the Dolphins, betting the Dolphins. Not necessarily that they're going to win, but they're taking the 12.5 points. So here's what the different gamblers in USA Today are saying. Jordan Mendoza, he's taken the Bills laying the points. And he says Miami is bad and Josh Allen is Josh Allen. Buffalo has won 6 straight against the Dolphins. Expect this one to be real ugly. Mm-hmm. That's kind of where the place that I feel it's going to be headed. John Heffling, though, takes the Dolphins plus 12.5. And he says, have the Dolphins looked terrible? Yes. Are they on the road against a very superior team? Yes. But betting trends often say that when faced with a double-digit spread between division rivals, take the points. It feels scary, but with the points already exploding to 12.5 in just a few days, I'm taking Miami.
So he doesn't believe in Miami. He's just saying there's a trend of it. Yeah. I got you.
Tyler Dragon, he takes the Bills, laying the points. He says the Dolphins are on the verge of an implosion. The Bills might currently be the best team in football. That's pretty simple. Christopher Boumbaka takes the Dolphins plus the points. He says things have gone from bad to worse in Miami, but this is simply too many points. The Bills have been solid to start the season, but the other guys get paid too. Blake Schuster taking the Dolphins with the points. Listen, I know the Dolphins look very bad, but there are some lines I just have to take and hope the averages favor me in the long haul. A double-digit underdog in a division rivalry game absolutely qualifies as one of those must-take lines.
Yeah. I get the thought that nobody's going to get whooped by 14 on national TV on a Thursday night in the division.
Unless you've watched them against Buffalo in this same situation before.
Thank you, Hawk. I've read this book. I'm not surprised at the end of when the antagonist dies. I'm not surprised. I've watched this.
There are plenty of gamblers who just go, 12.5 in an NFL game, especially a division rivalry. Like, I'm not passing it up. I'm not passing up 12.5. Yeah. And I get it. There's very few times in the NFL, especially this early in a season, where I'm comfortable laying 12.5. This happens to be one of those times.
So the Bills have scored 71 points in 2 games, 30 and 41, 35 points a game. Can it be a 35-20 game in the last drive and the Dolphins get 7 points? Yeah, and now the spread's not there, but you still had no chance of winning that game. I can see their concept thought, but the Bills are about to walk around on this field pretty dominant on Thursday night.
I just feel like they're going to be unable to stop Buffalo. And again, maybe, and we talked about this scenario, Buffalo goes up to a 2-touchdown lead and they just kind of start running the ball and eating clock, and it never pans out to a 12.5 point spread because there are field goals. It's not like the Dolphins offense was stagnant against New England, so they're going to put some points on the board. So maybe that's the way that it plays out, but I just can't find this pathway to taking the Dolphins and the points tomorrow night as much as I would like to.
And Solana and Mike Cunha were talking about, now run the ball. That's the pathway. Slow the game down, make it dirty, drag them into the mud. That's not what we do. We've seen 15 attempts. I think it was 11 attempts game 1, 15 attempts game 2. I don't think they have a playbook to run the ball and slow the game down.
Yeah, but they need to. I mean, I get what you're saying, Crowder, but at some point, if you're the Dolphins, you have to commit to a run game. You have to commit to putting Ollie Gordon in better situations. You have to commit to not just doing these little wheel routes with Malik Washington or end-around plays with Malik Washington, because if you don't, guess what? That's a lot of opportunities for Tua to drop back and get sacked and get injured. So if the Dolphins are going to have any success, think about the 2 games where they were within striking distance to win on the road in Buffalo last year and a couple seasons ago when they lost by 3. Running the football, establishing that ground game. Hawk, I get what you're saying. Buffalo can just kind of run the ball, eat clock. But in your mind, if they're a 12.5, 13-point if they're better than the Dolphins by that much, then the Dolphins just flat out wouldn't be able to stop them running the football. So it's not chewing clock. They're just running right down your throat. You know what I mean? Like,
well,
that's what they do.
I got you. But easier to stop a run for 6 yards than just big pass plays constantly that get you down the field and run out of bounds. I don't know. I feel like Buffalo could, if they wanted to, score 50 or more points. I really do feel that way. But if you ask me, do I think they will? My answer would be no.
James Cook, the starting running back for Buffalo, has 34 carries this season already. 176 yards, 5 yards a pop. We have not run the ball with everyone on our team 34 times in 2 games.
Because they're always playing from behind.
But even they weren't with
there was no game that they weren't playing from behind.
Yeah.
They had a lead, but they were playing from behind from the jump.
They were down 12-0, Crowder, in that first quarter.
I know, and the offensive structure of that, then you come back, and what was it, 14-12, whatever, they come back, now establish that run you're speaking of, Solana. I agree with your concept. I don't think we have that in our playbook to do what you're saying.
If Tua is taking snaps either in shotgun or under center, 3, 4, 5-step drops, Crowder, 30+ times, and you, as a defensive line, are getting to him every single time, Tua has to just get the ball out quick, that is a disaster waiting to happen. It flat out is. We know how this ends. We've seen it before, and that is not a recipe to success for the Miami Dolphins. It's just not against Buffalo, because guess what? They're going to get to the quarterback.
But running 3 plays in a row for 4 total yards is not always a recipe for success either.
But that's not what I'm saying. Like, when I said earlier, you have to establish those intermediate routes. How do you do that? Like, Buffalo knows, okay, they're going to try to get the ball to Tyreek and Waddle. If there's no threat of those linebackers pressing forward because of the run, then they're just dropping back, and Tua's throwing into double coverage the entire time. You have to have that threat of a run game.
That's my point with Tua being able to extend plays and be mobile. If you don't ever have that threat, you never have that hesitation step.
Yes, and that's how the Patriots slowed down Chubb and Jalen Phillips later in the game, because they got off. I think it was 2 or 3 sacks in the first half. Remember, they just kept running Stevenson right down the gut, a gap for 3 yards. It didn't seem like a big play. But if you know first or second down, they're going to run straight at you. You can't fly up the field. So now you have that hesitation from a defensive end that they might run or pass. With the Dolphins, there is no team saying, ooh, they might go right downhill. There's nobody worried about the Dolphins' downhill run game. We're going to pitch it to Malik Washington, who's 180 pounds, and let him try to get around the edge. Just seal the edges. We have no inside run game, so there's no threat of that. So why are we worried about it? If Ollie Gordon gets in, he got in 1 carry, he's had 8 yards. Because everybody on the Patriots was like, oh, damn, they ran the ball with a big dude. That's not what we do. I don't think it's in the playbook, man. I promise. Because if it was, why aren't you doing? Why aren't you changing it up? Why aren't you trying to keep them off balance? All the cute words about run, pass, balance, we don't have that. We are a cutesy track meet team. And
which is fun as hell when it's working.
When it's working, Hawk. When it's not working, you get beat by 25.
All right, so I think we just established the game plan. Run the ball. Tua's got to be mobile. Throw long, throw deep, throw the intermediate routes. Do it all.
So just create that in 4 days.
Be the perfect team.
Play perfect football.
In 4 days, just create a new offense.
Be the perfect team.